Good morning, everyone, and
Good
welcome
morning.
to our service for Mother's Day. Hope that all you mothers have got breakfast in bed. I made this lady a cup of tea,
True.
and which I've done every
Since
morning
lockdown.
since the lockdown. So nothing new here.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers and to all of you. We're trying to set up our Zoom service this morning outside, totally unsuccessfully, to give you a nice background of trees and things. And at one point we had a halo over our head, but it definitely wouldn't work at that point. And so I guess sitting in front of our family and two of our in-law children here is probably quite appropriate for Mother's Day. As a mother, I'm very thankful for all of them. So here we are.
And we're very thankful for you for being such a lovely mother.
Thank you. We do hope that we might even be at church next Sunday if things move to level 2. That would be fantastic to see you all in person. So we're really hoping for that. So we hope you'll be having a lovely day, a lovely Sunday, and enjoying the beautiful sunshine and the lovely autumn. And we look forward to seeing you again sometime before too long. Lots of love.
So for reading this morning, Heather's got something that is a prayer, and it's our prayer for this morning, and it was passed on to her by our son Matthew. So I'm going to exit and leave this to Heather.
Thanks. Yes, Matt shared this a few days ago in his midweek service, and I just thought it was lovely and appropriate for Mother's Day. So as we acknowledge that Mother's Day is a very special day, we also acknowledge that for many people, this can be a sad and a difficult day for many reasons as well. So in recognizing both of these realities, I want to share this beautiful Mother's Day blessing by the Reverend Ashley Ann Masters. To those that gave birth this year to their first child, we celebrate with you. To those who lost a child this year, we mourn with you. To those who are in the trenches with little ones every day and wear the badge of food stains, we appreciate you. To those who experience loss through miscarriage, failed adoptions, or running away, we mourn with you. To those who walk the hard path of infertility, fraught with pokes, prods, tears, and disappointments, we walk with you. Forgive us when we say foolish things. We don't mean to make this harder than it is. To those who are foster mums, mentor mums, and spiritual mums, we need you. To those who have warm and close relationships with your children, we celebrate with you. To those who have had disappointment, heartache, and distance with your children, we sit with you. To those who lost their mothers this year, we grieve with you. To those who experienced abuse at the hands of your own mother, we acknowledge your experience and pain. To those who lived through driving tests, medical tests, and the overall testing of motherhood, we are better for having you in our midst. To those who have aborted children, we remember them and you on this day. To those who are single and long to be married and mothering your own children, we mourn that life has not turned out the way for you longed it to be. To those who step parent, we walk with you on these wonderful and complex paths. To those who envisage lavish love on grandchildren, yet that dream is not to be, we grieve with you. To those who will have emptier nests in the upcoming year, we grieve and rejoice with you. To those who place children up for adoption, we commend you for your selflessness and remember how you hold that child in your heart. And to those of you who are pregnant with new life, both expected and surprising, we anticipate with you. This Mother's Day, we walk with you. Mothering is not for the faint of heart, and we have real warriors in our midst. We remember you. God bless you in grace and peace. Let us worship God.
I cast my mind to Calvary, where Jesus bled and died for me. I see his wounds, his hands, his feet, my Savior on that cursed tree. His body bound and drenched in tears, they laid him down in Joseph's tomb, the entrance sealed by heavy stone. Messiah still and all alone. Oh, praise the name of the Lord our God. Oh, praise His name forevermore. For endless days we will sing your praise, oh Lord our God. Then on the third, at break of dawn, the Son of Heaven rose again. Oh, trample death, where is your sting? The angels roar for Christ the King. Oh, praise the name of the Lord our God. Oh, praise His name forevermore. For endless days we will sing your praise, oh Lord our God. He shall return in robes of white, the blazing sun shall pierce the night, and I will rise among the saints, my gaze transfixed on Jesus' face. Oh, praise the name of the Lord our God. Oh, praise His name forevermore. For endless days we will sing your praise, oh Lord our God. Oh, praise the name of the Lord our God. Oh, praise His name forevermore. For endless days we will sing your praise, oh Lord our God. Oh Lord our God.
So Mother's Day, and a little bit of a tribute to mothers this morning. We have had one, some of you are one, and we may have even given birth to one. We may be married to one. I hope that includes all of us. But when I was reflecting on mothers, I remembered as a child in Canada, we were out camping, and across this little lake from us, there was a mother bear and two cubs. And the mother was obviously aware of us waking up and starting the campfire. And she began to chase her cubs up this hill. And of course, the cubs got to the top, and then they would tumble back down again. And the mother would sneak down and cuff them over the ear and send them back up again. The cubs were oblivious to any danger. Well, in Canada, as an adult, I witnessed a similar kind of thing. There were a number of bears in a garbage dump, and up the tree, there were two cubs. At the base, you guessed it, was the mother, warning off any male bear or any other bear that came near to the tree. The message was, don't mess with me, I'm a mother and I know my role. The daddy bears, well, goodness knows where they were, off doing the thing that daddy bears do, I suppose, whatever that is. And you've probably heard similar stories. Don't come between a cow and its calf. The cow will trample you. Where's the daddy cow? Well, full of bull off somewhere else, I guess. Or mothers, you have generally been the ones who put up with so much and ministered to your children, or you've been ministered to by a mother. I'm talking generally. Some mothers, for whatever reason, weren't able. But I know when I was a small child and it was cold at night, the arms and the hands that came and tucked me in were my mother's hands. The parent that found that extra blanket was my mother. And when I had a bad dream, it was my mother's side of the bed that I would climb into, not my father's. Interesting, isn't it? I guess that's probably why when the Bible writers want to express the caring, intimate nature of God, they use mother images. Hosea portrays God as a mother, teaching her child to walk, feeding her child, drawing her child to her with love and affection. The agony that God goes through in creating a people is written in terms of a mother giving birth. And when Jesus weeps over Jerusalem, just before he's killed, he pictures himself as a mother hen gathering her chicks close to her, and sheltering them under her wings to keep them safe. I guess the rooster in the meantime would be strutting about doing what roosters do. It's the hen, the mother bear, the cow that protects and nourishes and keeps safe. I remember watching one of our cats who had a number of kittens, and she was in a big box in our lounge, and our children had taken one of the kittens out and was playing with it on the carpet. And the mother appeared through the door and with a graceful leap leapt amongst the children, grabbed the little kitten by the scruff of the neck, and jumped with it into the box in safety. And I remember thinking, God is like that. God is like that mother cat. By the mother's grace and love, the kitten was kept safe. I remember too, on Mother's Day that, I'm reminded too on Mother's Day that Jesus' mission as he traveled about with the boys was financed by some wealthy women and some not so wealthy who traveled with them and covered their expenses. In 40 years of ministry, if I've learned one thing other than grace, it's that women are generally closer to the heart of God. That's not saying that we as men aren't, but it's a general thing. Women seem to intuitively know and feel the power and the need for love and mercy and forgiveness. And we see this in men. I know many men who are probably more loving, more merciful, more forgiving, more hands-on, more nurturing than their wives, the mother of the children is. It's a general thing, but not an exclusive thing. But this is Mother's Day. We're talking about mothers. I think too that's probably why God chose women to be the first witnesses to the resurrection of Jesus and to be the first proclaimers of the gospel to men. It's a little bit ridiculous why some church leaders and church men feel that women have no place to speak or to preach in the church. Women were the first teachers, the first preachers of the gospel. So, mothers and women, today we honor you. You taught most of us to pray. You led us to the Father's heart, and in your love, you demonstrated the feminine nature of God. Without your persistence, women and mothers, I doubt there would be a church today. From the beginning, you were leaders. You were and are the grace notes in the church that brought us the joy and the love of God. How many of us very pause for effect, had a woman as a Sunday school teacher when we were very tiny. So this morning, thank you for being the sort of people you are. And may God richly bless you for your faithfulness and your love down through the centuries. I, for one, would not have known the heart of God but for a woman, my mother. Happy Mother's Day.